Mark here, and today I'm going to take you through pronunciation. It is your first time you're watching this video, I'm going to ask you to hit the subscription button down there so that next time I make a video like this, YouTube will notify you. So without wasting time, let's jump into the lesson. As I said, we are talking about pronunciation. This is a very critical part in English. Most students have problems in pronunciation. Why? It could be maybe you're learning English as a second language or a third language. So all we need to know that we have that accent. There is that a first language that affects your second language. And if you're learning a third language, remember that there is always that the first language, the second language will always affect the third language. I'm not saying that you're not going to be perfect in pronunciation. No, that's the reason why I came up with this video. This video actually is going to help you. You have problems in pronouncing the words. Then this is the right clip for you to watch. Watch to the end, and I promise you that you're going to master your pronunciation. As I said, most students who have problems, actually there are those who are learning English as the second language or as the third language. What you need to know, if you are learning a language as a second language, the way you are pronouncing a word. Not all English words are pronounced the way they are spelled. Actually, they are not necessarily pronounced the way they are spelled. There are some words that actually take different form. Especially, I'm just going to give you one example. I'll give you English word and Swahili word. Now, have a look at this word, a word come. A word come actually means you move to where I am. So let's give a Swahili word, or njoo. So the word njoo, you see it is N-G-O-O. So it is just spelled like that and we pronounce it like that. But in English, there are some words actually that we cannot pronounce them the way they are spelled. This is the right video. So I'm going to give you steps that will help you if you all want to improve your pronunciation. Sometimes you feel like you want to speak, but you feel afraid. Why? Because maybe you feel that your pronunciation actually is not good. And then you're shy because you have a lot of words you need to speak, but now it forces you to do what? To keep quiet because you feel like you can pronounce the words in a bad way. Sometimes you want to speak, you're speaking to a native speaker or you're speaking to someone who understands English better, and then you find, sorry, what did you say? Sorry, come up again. So which means that your pronunciation has a problem. You need to work on your pronunciation. And today, I'm going to give you 3 steps that will guide you when it comes to pronunciation. The first step that is very, very much essential is silent letter. What you need to do, you need to master the silent letter. When you master the silent letter, then I can promise you that you are good to go. And how do you master silent letter? In the first place, what is a silent letter? A silent letter is alphabetical word that we write in a word, actually, but we don't utter or pronounce it. But it must be there. It's necessarily important that it be there. Some people, they make mistake because instead of skipping that word when they are reading, you find out that they mention that silent letter, of which you're not supposed to do that. Now have a look at this word. This word is muscle. You'll find out some students reading it as muscle, which is very incorrect. Why? Because C is a silent letter. And therefore, you're not supposed to say muscle. You're supposed to say muscle. And other words that maybe I'll give you example later as we move on. I'm going to give you another step. So this is the second word that you need to master, and I'm going to put them together, the second one and the third one. This is voiced and voiceless. Actually, in English, these 2 types of voices are very much essential. Why? Because when you read a word or when you spell a word, you need to understand actually if this word is voiced or voiceless. Let me give you an example. Voiced are these words that when you pronounce them, actually they come inside, and when you touch your voice box, you feel a little bit vibration. For example, the word drive. The word drive, when you pronounce that word, actually use a lot of force. You feel actually that that word is difficult for you to pronounce. And when I talk about voiceless, these are voices, or these are words that when we pronounce them, actually we pronounce them softly. And we normally use our breath, our hair, lips on pushing the words out easily. For example, the word sleep, the word talk, okay? Now, why did I bring these two words in pronunciation? I brought them in pronunciation because I want you to understand where many students actually make mistake is when we change these words into past. Of course, many words, especially the regular ones, we normally add ed. Forget about the irregular. We add ed to make them past, especially a word like talk. When we change into past, actually, we need to add ed, and then it will be talked. Talked. It is wrong to say talked. Now, look at the word want. We don't say want. No. We add ed, but we don't say want. We say wanted. Now, and in talk, the last word, the last D is pronounced as T. Why? Because it is voiceless. So the voiced last ed are pronounced as D. And the voiceless, the last ed are pronounced as T. And what about ed? Ed are these words. If you find a word or a verb that ends in T and D, definitely you will have to say ed. I give you some examples. Want, we say wanted, because want, it ends in T. Now what about D? Give me a word that ends in D. Good. Add. Add, we say added. Added. Okay, we have another word like visit, the word visit. We say visited because it ends in T. Visited, okay? And more words that end in T and D, we actually say ed. And the words that are voiced, we have three types of pronunciation. Ed, I've said we have D, especially the voiced, and then the voiceless, we say T. And then the verbs that end in T and D, we say ed. So be very much careful when you are pronouncing your words. Master these three steps and actually they will help you. Another thing that I want to add on top of it is about the vowels. We know the vowels in English, the first vowel, the 5 vowels that we have. These vowels are pronounced in 2 ways. So the short way of pronouncing it and the long way of pronouncing it. Now, have a look at this word just for example, the word rip. The word rip, so the I is pronounced, that I is a short vowel. But when we add E, it changes. The word becomes ripe. Ripe. So ripe, the silent letter there is, very good. The silent letter is E. So when it becomes ripe, that vowel becomes what? A long sound. It's not now a short sound. Are you getting that? And let's look at the word cup. Cup. So the word cup, when we add E and then it changes, it becomes cape. It becomes cape. And then we find out that we have a long sound. So the first one, cup, the vowel was what? Was a short sound. And then when we say cape, it becomes what? A long sound. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you found this video necessary and useful, kindly give it a thumbs up and remember to share it. Bye-bye.